Alright, so I just finished watching the latest episode. Well, the first episode of Nagatoro. So, I have mixed feelings about it. So, basically, I want to start off on something that's pretty small. It's not the biggest deal. It's basically the voice actors for the anime are they're not what I expected, but honestly, I do think given enough time and stuff, I'll be able to I'll be able to get used to it. No big deal. It happened with I'm pretty sure it happened with Uzaki. I wasn't the biggest fan of the voices at first. I didn't think they fit, but over time, I kind of just got used to it, and they were just perfectly fine. So I'm pretty sure the same thing's gonna happen here. So two things stood out to me in Nagatoro. Now, one thing in general when when something happens that's kind of ridiculous or whatever, I tend to pause it like immediately and like just put my hands up to my head and just say what. And it happened twice in this anime. That's not a for sure thing that what's it called. I won't like the anime. It happened with I believe the newest anime that just came out is like shoot what's the name? Komiiko or something like that. It happened like that, but in like the first 3 minutes or whatever as well, I ended up pausing it and like just seeing did I really just watch what I watched. But the first time it happened with Nagatoro in the beginning episode is because it actually differentiates a bit from the manga. So they changed the scene a little bit in the first thing. Like I genuinely was like I saw what I saw, which is obviously spoiler territory, which is it's only the first episode, it's not much to spoil. But basically in the anime, shoot, I don't even remember the guy's name. I literally just watched the anime and I don't remember his name. I read the manga. I'm caught up on so much. I'm pretty sure she just calls him senpai. Like I'm pretty sure he actually hasn't. We don't know his name. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we don't know his name at all. So his name, we're just gonna call him senpai. So basically, senpai goes into the library and he sits at a far table. And right off the bat, I was like, that seems a little odd, but whatever, right? So he sits at the far table, and the scene is supposed to ultimately he drops his manga, whatever that he creates, and the group of girls with Nagatoro pick it up, and then that's the whole point, right? That's basically what is supposed to happen. So in the anime, one of the girls needs a book or whatever, right? And she tells her, another person tells her, there's the book you're looking for is in the bag, which is behind senpai, right? So she goes over there, he's like freaking out, whatever, and I kid you not, he's drawing with his mechanical pencil, and the piece of lead breaks, and he freaks out for a sec. He's like, calm down, and he's trying to reach for his eraser, which is like right next to him, and he manages to knock over his book, and all the manga that he drew and stuff goes flying out and stuff, and that's how they get their hands on it. Oh my god, after that happened, I paused it, and I was just at such a disbelief. I'm like, did that seriously just happen? Is that how they seriously just gave them the manga? Is that really, like, how they wrote the scene? And I was like, there's no way. Because I'm a firm believer that the manga for Nagatoro is absolute gold. It's so good. Like, it's really, really good, and I was very, very impressed with, what's it called? When I had my first impression, when I was reading it for the first time, I was really, really impressed with it. But what's it called? I was like, there's no way. I literally got up. I paused it. I got up because my manga was like right here. And so I literally just pulled it out. I'm like, there's no way. And literally, I'm not even joking. And so, yeah, the first page. Right, I'm looking at the manga right now. Yeah, the first page, second page, third page is by the third page in the manga is when they get their hands on it. So basically, in the manga, what happens is he sits down at a table behind them. It's kind of close, but the point is that he put his book like kind of half hanging on the table, and it just happened to spill over, and it was all behind him, and they're like, geez, what the heck was that, right? And so that's when they look at it, and they pick it up to give it back to him, but they start obviously talking about the manga and stuff. So that feels a lot more natural, it's like he put his bag down and everything, and he was kind of already half leaning off the table, and it kind of just fell. And it felt like right behind them too. Like they didn't have to have a motivate. Like the girl didn't have to get up to get a book or whatever, right? Or anything like that. So it just felt more natural to me, and like it was just ridiculous. Like he freaked out and like knocked over the bag, but it's whatever. So that part was a little it was kind of funny. But what's it called? That being said, let's move on to the next scene, which happens which is later on in the episode, and basically takes place after the whole art club part. And so they're walking home, right? So in the anime, literally after what's it called, after the whole art club scene happens, they're walking home. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, I'm pretty sure in the manga they're on their way to school. I could be wrong, but what it looks like to me is that it is indeed, what's it called? Hold on, yeah, it seems to me like they're going to school, towards school, as opposed to coming out of school. But in the anime, that's not the case. Not a big deal. Animes change up scenes to have a better flow. You know, they did it with Yuri Yuri, and Yuri Yuri is, I don't know if I announced it in my, what's it called, my tier list, but Yuri Yuri is the GOAT slice of life anime. It's the best slice of life anime I've ever seen. So, and they combine chapters to make it flow better. So, it makes sense, you know, and this also makes sense as to why they changed a few scenes, and I'll get to that in a second. But what's it called? Going back to the scene where they're walking home, that's not a big deal. They're walking home, and one of the big things is Nagatoro basically goes a little bit too far in her physical contact with him, and in the anime, she pushes him, and he fucking goes flying and starts rolling, and hits the fucking, like, the block to prevent you from falling into the river, and he falls into the river, and he's like climbing out, and he has to climb out, and he's soaking wet and everything, and it was just the most absurd thing. Like, she just pushed him, he's like rolling down and like falls into it. I was like, I had to pause it again because I was like, there's no way this is what actually happened. So I went in and grabbed my manga again, and I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen. In the actual manga itself, she pushed him, and he actually just fell onto the ground kind of hard. But what's it called? And I think that's a lot better because it's more grounded, and it's like, it's not as ridiculous. It's more like, oh geez, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It just feels more grounded, more real to, like, if someone were to push you and you actually fell on the ground, it's like, oof, that's actually like, oh man, I feel a little bad about that because it's kind of like you accidentally pushed him too hard. You didn't mean to. But in the anime, it's kind of ridiculous because he starts rolling and going crazy and falls into the river or whatever. And so it's more joking as opposed to being like, ooh, she actually did go a little too far. Just a little bit, you know? So that's one of the things that was different. And this is why I have mixed feelings about it, because I don't like those two changes. But it's not like the biggest deal or whatever. And then this is the next part. So that's pretty much where it ends. It ends with the name and everything. Everything else is pretty true to the manga. No big deal. But then we get into, hold on, where is it? Then we get into the one thing that hit me right off the bat. Now, in general, I don't really pay attention to the music in anime. Only when it's like extremely like I don't know, I would say extremely good or whatever, like super interesting to me, or when it's extremely bad. And so, for example, Release the Spice, the music is absolutely insane. I love it. It's so good. It's one of the anime where I do remember the soundtrack because they just did such an amazing job with it. But what's it called? With Nagatoro, I was constantly listening to the music, and I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? It just feels so, like, I don't know. At the beginning when they're talking in the library, the music just kind of gives off like a sense of, I don't know, it's not that the music is bad, but it just doesn't seem to fit with what's going on in my opinion. And like it changes and it's like, oh man, it just, the music, I was just not vibing with it. But then after that, when they got into, after they finished the library scene, after that I kind of just didn't notice the music. But the very beginning of the music I did notice, and I was just not vibing with the choice. I was just not vibing with it at all. It's, that being said, what's it called? Again, the voices, I feel like I'll get used to it. It happened with Uzaki. I didn't like the voices at first, but I got used to it. Same with this. I'm pretty like, I don't know. I feel like a couple of the voices would be, I don't know. I just expected it to be a little different, but you know, that's no big deal. I'll get used to it. It's not like the voices are bad. If anything, some of the voice actresses, I think I've definitely heard before, and they're good voice actresses. So it's not that they're bad. It's just not what I was expecting. But again, nothing negative. So one other thing that I actually do like and I'm very happy that it's different from Uzaki-san, is the art. It just looks so nice. It actually looks really nice. I like this. I like the style. I like how like it looked kind of fluid too, and like it didn't really have any problems with it or anything like that. The expressions are nice. I think it's well done. Whereas with Uzaki, one of the things I didn't like was the art. Well, it's not that I didn't like it, but it just, I don't know, it felt kind of stiff. It kind of didn't feel, I don't know, it just didn't feel fluid or whatever. But Nagatoro really did. It really did seem like look nice in my opinion. I like how it looks. Everything. The hair is actually kind of unique. It kind of looked at first when I first saw it like Nagatoro's hair shining in the light. It kind of looked a little like CGI, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But what's it called? Just a little bit, not a whole lot, because obviously I don't like CGI at all, and it's obviously super noticeable when CGI is happening. But it looked a little like that, but it was actually just how it was drawn, and it really grew on me. I really like how it looks. But yeah, visual wise, yeah, I like how it looks. Voice wise, I'm pretty sure I'll get used to it. No big deal. Other than that, the changes, they were okay, and I'm pretty. Oh, that goes back to the point where I wanted to talk about the changes. I'm pretty sure they make these changes and stuff because the anime episode has to be 23 minutes long. Like if you think about it, like in the manga, literally within 1, 2, 3 pages, on the third page, they literally get their hands on the manga. Whereas in the anime, it takes some time. They literally had the beginning too, where they just show the cherry blossoms and the kids and everything, and then he's walking to the library, they're talking and stuff like that. They had this whole entire build up. Whereas with the manga, they just go straight in on the third page. Like they just go straight in, and on the third page you already get into it. Whereas with the anime, it takes some time. So I get it. They have to stretch things out and stuff like that. But that scene was in my opinion, was a little ridiculous as to how it happened. But I'm just hoping, it's fine if they make changes to make things like that, but I think the changes have to be at least good. And this one was, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that change, but it's not like the biggest deal or anything. So as of right now, I have mixed emotions. Obviously, it's only the first episode, so it's really early. It's too early to tell whether or not I think it's bad or not. I'm pretty sure it's still good. Like, I enjoyed it. It's still something that I enjoyed. But what's it called? I really do want to see how. I'm really hoping it goes well. I'm pretty confident that it will go well. I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it more than Uzaki for sure. Not that I didn't enjoy Uzaki, but it was kind of okay. Nothing great. But Nagatoro, I'm hoping it goes well. I have mixed feelings right now, but it's not like the biggest deal. It's not like it's not like, oh, this part's like really fucking bad, or this part's like, and this part's good or whatever. No, it's kind of less like, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I'm really excited. But yeah, I just want to make a video about it because I had some pretty strong reactions to those scenes where I literally had to pause it and whip out the manga just so I can see what's good, because I was like, there's no way this happened. And I wanted to talk about it a bit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll be back with more videos soon. I'm behind 2 seasons on the top 3s. I know. Oh man, honestly, I don't even have that much good excuses. I literally just been watching Demon Slayer. That's like, I've been binge watching Demon Slayer, and I don't have all the time in the world because I have to wake up and go to work and stuff like that. So I don't have that much time. So I'm kind of limited to like watching 5 episodes at most, maybe 6. But I just finished watching Demon Slayer. Can't wait for the movie. But I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.